it's extremely important that these public spaces are have to be built and made for the citizens. One example from Shanghai, also Suzhou Creek, back then in the beginning of 20th century, it was one of the biggest industrial paths in Asia, if not in the world. I think 2.5 miles long. So really one factory after another. Nowadays, turned into the kind of cultural landscape with a lot of public spaces and nice areas for the citizens. And then maybe just to touch the two interesting things is that the one is the shared space. We call it Begegnungsstraße, and we have it in Vienna as well. But this is a model actually coming from again Copenhagen. Somehow, how to create a zone which is shared among all citizens without having really, let's say, priority of the car like we had it before. So here, the public transportation and pedestrians are real priority, and the cars have to. They are allowed to pass through, but in very reduced, let's say, speed and public transportation, of course, from time to time. But between the streets somehow recover and became and again a public space available to everyone. So I just put in the end somehow of criteria. So which I think it's a necessary if you're speaking metamorphosis. So what supposed to be a goal? What was supposed to target we were facing to? And this is the first one will be an urban nature of intervention because we are speaking about a city and it's a very urban area which somehow have to be yeah, seen this way. Then it's of course even if it's about public owned ownership and this public spirited areas they must be somehow favorized in also. Then of course we have to reduce social fractures, so we have to be very careful how to deal this. As I said something in the beginning. Of course, in ideal way would be citizens' participation and their acceptance and maybe feedback they are giving us in order to make next time even better. And of course, interdisciplinary planning where the architects are only part of much bigger teams. And maybe just one more example from city of Vienna. Back then, the biggest so far away, the biggest railway station in Vienna, which is demolished, unfortunately, the North station. So you can see here how huge is the area covered with things turned into the beautiful parks, also including some water elements inside them. So this metamorphosis somehow it's possible. It's I think it's important to plan this one. And of course, we have to go back to the water, to the sea. As back then in the 19th century, beginning of the 20s, we still had a beautiful fish market in the middle of the Vienna that was somehow replaced by the beautiful bridges. 40 of them were unfortunately destroyed by the end of Second World War. But nowadays, these areas are recovering. They are now getting occupied again by the citizens and became again one of the most favorite places they're spending their own time. And in the very end, I would like to recommend it three books for the students. The one is the book I think every student must read. This is the Il Mediterraneo by Fernand Braudel. Also he is the let's say representative of the old, some would say old-fashioned school of French historics. But this is really something if you want to understand Mediterranean and their cities, you have to read this. The second one is an interesting guy, Predrag Matvejevic, who actually lived between Italy and Croatia his whole life. Also beautiful, very poetic book about things. And the third one is Medway's Open Atlas, Manrici, also the professor who is still teaching in La Sapienza in Rome, who collected many different projects about Mediterranean cities, also in different scales. And yeah, so I hope the University of Olbia have the ones so we can see this one on them. So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope that these examples are going to help you at least somehow exploring this very complex task you have. I'm not saying it's easy. It's we never can give you an easy task, but it's a extremely challenging and actually extremely beautiful. So
Thank you very much. How you calculate exactly the 50 minutes? Okay. I was very impressed because Professor Mladen Jadric firstly shares his idea about all the examples about the common space and shared space, metamorphosis, transformation, contextualism, and then show the many exact examples which is applied to your main concept of the common space or and waterfront and green area and so on. And thank you very much. I don't think okay. I just I didn't prepare anything. I just listened to you. Just very concentrated on your lecture.
thank you.
And I don't think okay. You could get so it's a very I always wonder that even though we do a workshop in Busan, always Vienna till Vienna team get the first prize because I think is you always teach students with a deeper and wider consideration about the urban spaces. So everybody recognizes that the result is good and is a good. So uh, I know your hidden hidden key of Vienna team is Professor Mladen at least. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
I will take it like a compliment. Okay.
I definitely I just cannot.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I'd like to move to the second lecture of this today. Okay, because I hurried a little. Everybody criticized you hurry too. Always very hurry, but I like to keep on time. But so, Professor Chen Qiang is
Yeah,
architecture.
can you hear me?
You're here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not only the great researcher, he has done many architecture projects he by himself and received also many awards as an architect. So I seen your silk factory in Archideli, and it was I'm very impressed to renovation project you done. And because he done mainly renovation project in China, so. I don't know. Oh, what is your title of today, Professor Chen?
Environmental restoration in Chinese cases.
Okay, I hope to see your project in your presentation if possible. But uh, okay, you can share the first page of your screen.
Okay,
Okay, start your presentation. Yep.
is it okay?
It just take a little time, I think. Hmm. Yeah, now we can see. Uh,
Okay, thank you.
okay.
Uh, Thank you, Professor Chen, Professor King, and Sylvia and Jadric. Uh, I had seen some familiar projects in your speech, including Suzhou Creek. Yeah. Okay. Today, I will share with you some. Okay. Let me. I will share with you the environmental restoration in Chinese cases, including uh, my project. Mostly, most of the cases are located in Shanghai. Yeah, I come from Tongji, Shanghai Tongji University. So here are two tables. The left one is about the urbanization rate of China. The left one, the right one is about the per capita GDP of China. You can see in the past 30 years, China have undergoing a very huge development. So meanwhile, we also facing many environmental problems. So the government had proposed the double restoration 10 years ago, including two aspects. One is ecological rehabilitation, and then the other is urban repair. So here is an example. It was just located in the North China at seaside. Above is the image before demolition. There are many houses located along the seaside. Then they were removed instead of by open park. So we will go to the first topic about the ecological rehabilitation. During the fast urban development in the past, ecology and the environment had been greatly impacted, resulting a large amount of abandoned mining site, industrial area, and municipal facilities. Here are two projects in Europe. The below is the project of Enrique Mirares, a Spanish architect. The previous mining site was converted into a cemetery. The above one was a living space. Is a living space. So in Shanghai, there are also two projects. The above one is Chen Quarry Garden. The next is Simao Quarry Garden, which they were quarry previously, and the hotel was called the lowest hotel in the world. This cases will be very bigger. It is located in Nanjing Garden Explore Park. In the previous, it was Chinese cement factory with the size about more than 300 square kilometers. You can see there are many quarries and mine. So the architect had proposed three principles. One is cultural implantation. The second is space recreation. And the third one is about the function activation. You can see the old buildings of the factory will be transferred into a diversity functions with exhibition, hotel, and bookstore, and so on. And here is the previous image about the quarry. In the middle of the quarry, it was a botanic garden surrounded by the hotel, theater, pond, and platforms and commercial buildings. This is the botanical garden, and you can see it was covered by semi-transparent ceilings, just like wind in the sky. And you can see some of the silos are transferred into the commercial space. And when this is an image taken from the hotel, and you can see the outside stones. So the big cliff is also transformed into the first realistic lighting show in the world in the night. Here is another example, the National Archives of Publication and Culture in Hangzhou. It is designed by Wang Shu, the first prize winner in China. You can see the small mountain was carved just like a basin. So the idea comes from the Chinese traditional paintings. And you can see in the middle, there is a water pond surrounded by corridors along the sea, along the mountain. And you can see some pavilions located in the site. Some of the pavilion will be placed on the middle of the mountains. It's just like a Chinese paintings. So this will be a very wonderful landscape about the architecture and the environment. Also, Wang Shu will always do some experiment about the materials, such as rammed earth wall, ceramic board screen, and the timber roof. So all these materials comes from the Chinese traditional ideas. Here is another project about the quarry. This is the better view of the Jiyun mountain. You can see there are many holes in the mountains. All these holes are just digged out by the local people, just like this. The local villagers will get the stone from the mountain, and also a very special space were created, so it can be transferred into a performing space and a swim and pond. Also about the reading space. So it will be very interesting. So the ecological rehabilitation will bring. So we will rebuild the harmony between human beings and nature by ecological rehabilitation. The next one will be urban repair. here are three aspects about the urban problems. One is how to deal with the industrial heritage. And the second will be the wasted space and the elevated road. Also, we'll discuss about the traditional residence, such as Li Nong in Shanghai, the courtyard house in Beijing. So we should consider more about the development and the reservation. This project is designed by my studio. It is located in a typical water town nearby Shanghai, in Wuzhen. This is the renovation of Beizha Silk Mill. Here is an old map. You can see most of the buildings are built along the river, because in the previous days, the river is the main transportation style for the local people. Here is our site. And you can see some of the buildings were removed instead of by a new road. So we should consider about the new texture about the road and the buildings. So how to deal with the new environment. So we designed 3 new buildings. This part is the old buildings, and we also kept all the trees. The first one is the entrance, small pavilions, and you can see outdoor exhibition space was created by our new buildings and the old ones. Here is another new buildings. The main function is coffee and gift shop. The third one is the gallery, a new gallery in songs. And you can see there is an artistic space created by the old buildings and the new buildings. And this is the interior space, and the old roof were all kept, and the structure is also as well as the structure. In the middle, there is a waste garden. So we designed a big staircase with several holes to keep all the trees. And this is the image about the coffee space. You can see the new buildings and the old buildings. The two floors old buildings are covered with semi-transparent mantle, and it will bring a new experience about the old buildings. Also, you can see mostly in Shanghai, the place and the elevated road will be transferred into sport space. Here is a very interesting cases in Shanghai. It is a space under the bridge of Wuning Road. And you can see that there are some performing space and coffees. During the epidemic period 4 years ago, this space were used as a shelter for homeless people. And we also direct our students to do some experiment about this topic. For instance, this is a space, a case in Yangpu Bridge. You can see the road was very high. So how to use the use the space under the road? It will be a sport space with third floors. And also it will be a hub to connect both sides with bridges. As for the traditional residential space, so this is a project about how to deal with them. So this is the Suzhou Creek, and here is Huangpu River. So previously, this area are covered by the Linong, a typical residential type in Shanghai. And now it is an open park. But you can also see some small part of the Linong. Here is a high-rise building designed by Norman Foster. Most of the space are used in underground of special commercial space. And there are 3 floors underground. And these buildings are not the old ones. They were just removed to leave space for the underground space, and then a new one will be constructed just like the old styles. And here will be the underground and the ground space. Here will be another cases about how to deal with the Linong in Shanghai. You can see all the houses will be kept and will be moved to the different space to also there are 3 floors underground space will be used. Some of the buildings are used for the famous brandings such as LV, Dior. Here is 2 pictures about the Pudong new district. You can see during the last 20 years, the Pudong district, this new district has changed a lot. So meanwhile, new problem has also brought out. For example, the wide road is not suitable for human being. All buildings are separated. So we also do some experiment about how to deal with the huge space between the high-rise buildings. So we created this small blocks to narrow the road. The road will be more suitable for pedestrian. So we'll go to a very important case in Shanghai is the riverside of renovation about Huangpu River. This is the map of Shanghai. You can see this area is the central district of Shanghai, and you can see there is a river, Huangpu River, divide the central district city into two parts. Here is Puxi, and this is Pudong. In the previous days, the Huangpu River is a very important transportation for the industry factories. And the waterfront was occupied by different enterprises. However, the government want to transfer the fragmented industrial heritage into a continuous public riverside space. So you can walk along the river from south to north. With 60 kilometers length. In this area is the Qiang area, about 28 kilometers. So it will be a leading zone for integrated and diversity urban functions. Also, it will be a waterfront exhibition zone rich in cultural connotation. And last, it will be a model waterfront where humans and nature coexist in harmony. The core area will be divided into 5 parts. One is the vibrant waterfront, and the second one is this is the CBD. Here is the CBD of Pudong, and the left side is the bound. It will be the part 2 will be the global living room, and the third one is culture creative chain. The fourth part is about artistic waterfront, and then the last one is about the charm water town. So 4 different parts with different topic. And The length is about the 7 kilometers. So along the river side, there are many famous landmarks designed by the architects from different countries. For example, the westbound museum is designed by the British architect David Chipperfield, and the shipyard was designed by Kankokuma. The Museum of Art Pudong was designed by French architect Jean Nouvel. And this building, Shanghai Grand Opera House, will be finished in this year. It was designed by Snoheta. So all the important buildings will be very diversity space for all the citizens. Here is the image about the previous and nowadays. And you can, many green space was designed. And some of the factories will be regeneration. Also, here are some space mode about the horizontal layers and the vertical functions. I will select some of the cases to here is the Green Hill designed by my colleague, Professor Zhang Ming. It is located in the Yangpu district. This is the previous volume of the buildings. It will be very big. And the design, the architect set back the volume and create many different platforms to view the river. The shape is just like a hill. So the name of the project is Green Hill. You can see a new road is running across the buildings at the top, at the bottom. And also there is you can go to the roof along the buildings. Okay. Also there is almost 22 service stop along the riverside. Each almost every 1 kilometer will be a stop. Here is the image about the stop in different environment. The environment will, the stop will provide rest space and the reading rooms and the rest rooms. It will be a part of the people's daily life. This project is a modern art museum designed by Liu Yichun, a famous architect in Shanghai. It was a cold store. And how the architect has 4 options about the structure. And he selected the last one. You can see a very interesting idea about the structure. In the top, there is a truss, and all the floors are hanging from the top. So there are no structure, no new structure on the ground. Meanwhile, different platform were created to view the beautiful screen of the river. And you can see from outside, you can notice some of the structure about the building and the platform. Okay, I will go to the last project designed by my studios. This project is very small, just located near to this building, the Modern Art Museum. Just here. It is a very small exhibitions about our graduations project. It was composed by 2 small pavilions. Each pavilion is no more than 20 square meters. So we also adopt the same idea about the structure as the museum. A big white box was handed down from the top. And there is we placed the model in the middle, and it was surrounded by the joints with the lighting on the top. So we can say it become part of the citizens' daily life along the riverside. It is just like a flash mob. The exhibition is the place was used as exhibition space for no more than 2 weeks. So we think we hope that our city will be better by urban repair. Okay. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Chen. And when was built the Professor Zhao Ming's Green Hill? I never been there. So it's an old
Oh,
building, isn't it?
yeah. Uh, I can show you on a map.
I think it's
Maybe
like more than 20 years or something.
it is here.
Ah,
No,
okay.
maybe no more than maybe it was finished 6 years ago. Maybe
6 years ago. 6 years ago. Ah,
yeah.
okay, okay. The Zhao
Before
Ming.
the epidemic.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And I've been visiting Shanghai last 10 years, like 20 times. I've been tracing
Oh
every
yeah.
yeah, every change of Shanghai. I don't know many
Yeah.
of who are participants in this workshop been to Shanghai uh,
Mm,
before, but for architecture students who wants to learn architect, so everyone have to visit Shanghai, I believe. The last time Miss Professor Kim and I visited the Shanghai last month, we seen
yeah.
the Linong plate is moving to build
Oh.
underground. So
Mm,
everything is possible in Shanghai. So
mm,
no limitation of imagination. If you
mm.
architect imagine, it's realized something. So very impressive. And your project today shown is also very impressive. Thank you very much, Bastian.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. The civil engineering's level shocked me yesterday and today. So yesterday, the Professor Aitani showed one whole island of Inujima granite. They just take a granite to fill up the only for the fill up the Osaka Ocean. And today is China is a lift up the full village to build the underground 20 minutes, 20 meters underground development. So, okay, this is what's happening here. So, anyway, I don't know the Olbia has a quarry. I know this is port for the sending out the granite or marbles to the Europe,
Mm,
but I don't know on our site map there's a query. We need to check it out. So some of Chinese students can get an idea from the land itself. Professor Chen also find a solution from the land. When you feel that the atmosphere, you're the architect. So I hope we should visit Olbia as soon as possible to give a solution. Thank you very much.
thank you.
And today we have some questions from the student, and but we will be announced the answer tomorrow. And the student, the first prepared site plan is well balanced. The divided for the first and second and third project is already well divided. But we will check today. You can confirm the your project tomorrow too. Okay, that's today's program. We'll have a last lecture from Lenzo Cardine, Professor Lenzo Cardine tomorrow. Uh, I'll give him a full 2 hours, so I don't know how long he will use it, but he said he's a video, so it will be. I expect it's not so long tomorrow. Then we
Renzo,
will.
Renzo, not 2 hours,
No, not two
just
hours, I
one.
believe. It will be short. So after then, we will explain a little about the students' request. Then we will, even though it will be the not longer like yesterday and today. Tomorrow, let's meet shortly tomorrow once again and finish the lecture program. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow
Thank
on
you.
5 East Asia, 10 in Europe. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Looking forward.